Okay. I am so sick to death of everything being changed on computers. I'm so sick to death of it. You try and use a system for 5 minutes, some idiot's made an improvement. I don't want your improvements. How is the philosophy of changing things and improving things in web design and software design, how is it so bad that these morons have forgotten principles that have governed product design probably for millennia? I don't understand how these morons have just completely abandoned the understanding that people using a tool don't want it to be changed every 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. I've been using computers for years and years and years and years and years, and yes, there were certain issues. Okay, maybe they got changed when you updated the software after a 5-year issuance of that software. Now these morons are messing with it and changing it and fooling with it every 5 minutes. It's crazy. How do we stop this? How on earth do we stop these meddling morons? That's why the word meddling exists. And the word meddling is probably an ancient word, because morons meddle with things. They keep meddling, they can't keep their hands off things. And the meddling is it's astronomical at the moment. This is like the era of meddling. It's crazy. I'm trying to use tools, software that I've been using for a long time, even websites, and every 5 minutes, change it. No one can tolerate this. No one can cope with this nonsense. And it's these fools, they're just missing the entire point of humanity. People, you can't change just because you have the ability to change things instantaneously. It doesn't mean you should. You can't. No system can cope with that variance. It's not possible. And these morons are just tinkering, messing all the time. Nobody can possibly cope with that. Imagine if you received a meal from the restaurant and the chef wouldn't leave the plate alone. He kept messing with it and putting different things on the plate. You couldn't eat the food. You'd leave the restaurant. And that's what these fools are doing. And nobody's in charge. No one's stopping them. There's no governance. There's no standards. The internet is chaos. It's utter chaos. And the problem is, the last thing we need is some New World Order twerps stepping in going, yes, that's our excuse to control everyone. So we're stuck between morons and nefarious people. What we need is sensible, ordinary, authoritative leadership. That's the style of governance that we always had. When something was introduced, there were measures in place to make sure that it didn't get messed with every 5 minutes. These principles have been in place for millennia, for centuries certainly. So how do we solve this problem? Honestly, I think the problem is wide. It's not narrow. It's not just, we need to put in some legislation. No. The problem is this whole twisted, sick New World Order philosophy of, we'll just destroy everything, we don't care. And they are going to find out very soon that people do care, that you can't run anything that way. And the problem is, these guys hide in the shadows. Oh God, it's disgusting. It's absolutely putrid. We've got a serious problem in this world, and this New World Order crap is the root of it. Because when you had nations, the government of that nation was elected fairly, okay, and people knew with whom the buck stopped. If someone made a mistake, they were held accountable. Now, no one's held accountable, and if anyone says anything against the New World Order party line, poof, away they go. So nothing gets changed, nothing gets improved, no one's getting any control, and we're all sitting going, who the hell is in charge? But it's actually a group of sick idiots who are sitting there trying to run everything, and you can't. So what has to happen is the New World Order people have to be broken up, probably by themselves. If I was them, I'd just say, I'm sorry guys, this project isn't going anywhere, it's a disaster. And I'd just walk out the room. And hopefully the rest would follow, because it can't work. It's a grand scheme that cannot ever work. Certainly not in the shadows. And they can't be overt about it. So, what we must do is revert back to our nations the way we always have, and their little project to try to control the world can go to hell. It can just disappear as a defunct, mendacious mess, which is what it is. It's just disgusting. It's absolutely putrid. And the result is nothing. This is the problem. There's no correct control. And no, we don't need the incorrect control of these scumbags who just want to control everyone for the sake of controlling them. We need effective, proper, functional, rational, reasonable, functional, did I say that already? Control. These systems that are put in place for the betterment of everyone's situation. What these guys are doing is not for the betterment of anyone. It's a weird, sick ideal that can never exist, and they're trying to produce it through lying and manipulation. They believe that manipulating people is the way, and you can see right through it. And everyone hates it. It's sick. It's a form of communism, but it's a sickly, yucky, ugh thing. It's disgusting, and this is the result. Complete garbage. Nothing works. The systems don't work. There's no standards. No one knows who's in charge. People are just wandering around, and go, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't say the wrong thing." It's nonsense. This whole world has been screwed over by these New World Order fairies who are sitting there going, "Oh, look at this power," and they have no clue what they're doing, nor should they ever be in such a position. So they need to close up shop and walk away and leave things the way they were, with nations which had standards. I'm an Englishman, okay, from the United Kingdom, right? And everything worked when I was a lad. And as a young man, things still worked, and it's gone right off the deep end into a disaster. Nothing works. You can't get anything done. Nothing gets improved. It just gets tinkered with by fools who have no business being in such positions of being able to tinker with stuff. And we've got our government and big business relying upon the internet, and the internet can't be relied upon because there's no controls. And the only way you could control the internet is country by country, because you can't just control the entire world's internet. It won't work. So what you have to have is separate internets, country by country. It's that simple. You can have access to the major part of the internet, fine. I may not know exactly how the internet works. It's a big network of computers, alright? Big deal, okay? The fact is, if you're going to have systems and things which are used by everyone in a country, then those websites have to be governed by the country in which they are going to be used. They can't be allowed to legally function with these morons changing everything all the time. There must be standardization for the good of the user. I mean, imagine you've got, I don't know how many websites that a person uses mainly on average. Let's say they used about 10 or 12 websites, okay, mainly. And every single one of those websites will operate completely differently. And moreover, there's some moron in each instance changing it all the time. It's chaos. You can't run anything that way. No one knows what's going on. Blah blah. It's just a mess. The internet was supposed to be a helpful tool, and these morons have gone, yeah, let's make it control everything. Yeah. And I'm sure that people who have observed these decisions being made have gone, whoa, guys. And these morons have just gone off into oblivion, not thinking. I do not believe in the governance of my own country. I don't believe in it one bit. I believe that the government is made up of morons, and I think that they are corrupted by nefarious influences who just want control. and who are happy to watch the nation fall to its knees under the yoke of this disgusting menace of interference by globalists. Our country is in a catastrophic mess, and I bet every country around the world is seeing the same thing. Nobody knows what's going on. It's chaos. And the result is going to be leadership which emerges from the general population. Because if the government is completely out of their minds, you've got to take control. Even if it's like having a lunatic king who's going, he has no clue what's going on, and eventually his subordinates have to say, "Okay, Your Majesty, we'll handle this." And that's exactly what's going to happen in each nation around the world as people reject this New World Order globalist garbage and recover their countries. And that's what we're doing in Britain right now. More and more people are waking up and saying, this is complete nonsense. Our country looks nothing like it used to. It behaves nothing like it used to because it's governed by lies. It's all putrid lies vomited out through the media, which is the functionary of these people who are trying to control everything in the world. They can't. They are completely out of their depth, and they can never be in their depth because you can't control the entire world. You can't do it, nor should you. That's why we have nations, because people have different cultures, different etiquettes, different ways of doing things. These morons think they can just delete and paint over tens of thousands of years of history as if it didn't exist. The problem is that human cultures originate from central points. You can't just delete a person's culture. It will never be deleted. People have their own cultures. They might choose to join another culture or adopt another culture, but you can't get rid of them all and pretend that no one's going to notice. It's impossible. For heaven's sake, I'm speaking in English. English is like the number one business language on the planet. What, you're just going to pretend that English never existed and come up with a new language based upon binary, upon beeps and other noises? What's wrong with you people? You think that you can just delete everything? People are out of their minds. We need to completely retreat from this nonsense. People are like, oh, this is it's not progress, it's a deviation. Okay, it's being labelled progress because these morons think it's progress towards their eventual goal, which can never be. It can never ever. It's an impossible thing. It's a disaster. It's catastrophic for everybody. Even if they had good intentions, it doesn't matter. It's a waste of time. You have to let people be people and do things their own way. If you just try and control them all the time, you're just going to get people revolting against you. Every single time. It will not work. You can do it at the end of a gun and they would rather die than go along with it. And if you do it in this fluffy way, people will just throw it off and disregard it. You can't do it. You have to encourage people to be their best with their own culture. And that's best done by their own culture. It's that simple. This is how life is. You can't just pretend it doesn't exist. You can't do it. It won't work. With all of the television and all of the books and all the magazines and all of whatever the nonsense you want to stuff in people's faces, it won't work. All you're doing is painting over something, pretending that what you're painting isn't there. Oh, just look at the paint, guys. Yeah, never mind the completely obvious thing that's behind it. Just look at the paint. You people are mental. As a result, nothing works and we've all got a big mess on our hands. Well done, you idiots. What we need is our nations back, 100% under our own control, and it's going to happen whether you morons want it to or not. So yes, I start off saying nothing works on the internet. Well, this is the root cause, and it can't be solved unless we fix this problem, and it's going to be fixed. It's going to happen 100% because it's utterly inevitable. So, you New World Order guys, enjoy your tea parties or whatever you want to do, and we'll get the job done.